everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Crack That Turning Problems into Solutions. This is me Priyasha Das, and today I'm up with another critical reasoning video based on assumption type questions. Now the reason I'm covering up this critical reasoning section first is because I totally believe that if you are doing a targeted study for the ZAT preparation, so for the VA section, the ultimate thing to focus on is critical reasoning. If you are parallelly doing any other preparation for any other exams like SNAP, IIFT right now, so in that case, you can continue with your preparation and just go through these specific videos which I'm uploading on my channel. And I can guarantee you that just focusing on these few topics would really help you score wonders in the ZAT examination as well. That's why my purpose right now is to cover up this critical reasoning section as fast as I can so that you people will be benefited. All right. So let's see in the assumption based questions, we would generally see that in the RCs or in the critical reasoning paragraphs, we come across these assumption type questions very, very frequently. So what are the common question stems using which we can identify that we have to assume something in the passage? Well, it is quite obvious and very, very easy to understand because the word assumption comes in over here. Here, every time you see something assumed or assumption, this is very easy to figure it out. But there are two question stems where the word assumption will not come, but you still have to find out the assumption. What's that? Which of the following, if true, enables the conclusion to be properly drawn? Now, what enables the conclusion to be properly drawn? The assumption. What is an assumption, friends? Assumption is an unstated premise. Premise, what's premise? These are the various things which are, or we can say the facts and the figures are given, and supporting it, we have a statement which is not present in the question, that is unstated, but is still a very obvious point which the author has assumed to be true. Only if this is true, then only the author was able to find out the conclusion. So one thing which is very, very necessary to be first looked for in a question like this is to find and search out the conclusion in the question. So whenever you get a question of critical reasoning where you have to find out the assumption, please focus on finding out the conclusion first, because once you find the conclusion, only then you will be able to figure out which of the following can be an unstated premise or an unstated argument in support of your conclusion, which has actually helped you to find out the conclusion, and that is the assumption, something which the author considers to be true and just ignores the fact of writing it down in the paragraph because he considers it to be almost true. We have to search that. And the other question stem is the argument presupposes. Now presupposing is a synonym of assuming only. So if you get this word as presupposes, please don't confuse. Just go for the assumption. Okay. Now let's move down to the first question. I'll be giving up two examples in this question, so I think they are quite different in itself, so they would really help you understand the variety provided in these assumption type questions. So let me just scroll down and show you the first question. Here's the first question on your screen. Now I would definitely recommend you people to pause the video over here, read it on your own, select an answer, whatever comes to your mind, and then replay the video and check your answer with mine and see the approach with which I have completed this question. So here's question number one. More than a year ago, the city announced that the police would crack down on illegally parked cars and that resources would be diverted from writing the speeding tickets to ticketing illegally parked cars. All right. So here it's mentioned that the police is making few claims regarding cracking down the illegally parked cars, and after that they would be diverting the resources from writing the speeding ticket, which was a method of cracking down the illegally parked cars, to ticketing the illegally parked cars. All right, but no crackdown has taken place. The police chief claims, now this is important because my conclusion will lie somewhere, and to find out the assumption, my major work, the first step is to find out the conclusion. The police chief claims that the resources have to be diverted from writing speeding ticket to combating the city's staggering drug problem. Yet is a structured word, and the structured words are always important, whether it is a reading comprehension or whether it is a critical reasoning question. Yet the police are still writing as many speeding tickets as ever. That means the number of tickets which they are writing against the illegally parked cars is still the same. Therefore is a conclusion indicator. Therefore is a conclusion indicator. So that means your conclusion lies somewhere around. The excuse about resources being tied up in the fighting drug related crime is simply not true. Why is it not true? Because the police chief claims that we are still writing as many tickets as we were writing earlier. So, how can you say that we are focusing more on the drug problem and not in the illegally parked cars, right? So, this is my conclusion, that the police is saying that we are still writing the same number of tickets and we are still paying attention to the illegally parked cars compared to the drug case. All right, I got an idea about the conclusion. Now I'll frame a shadow answer. What's the shadow answer? If you have been following my previous critical reasoning videos, you would be knowing what a shadow answer is. And in case you aren't, please go and check out the link in the description box and the I button at the top for referring to the other critical reasoning videos and the basic introduction video as well. All right. So shadow answer is something which we just make up our mind with. Right now in my mind it's very much clear that the police is saying that they are still working on the illegally parked cars by writing the tickets, speeding tickets, and not diverting their resources to the drug problem. Okay, something supporting this would be my answer. Now, if you have followed my previous shot about the negation strategy, I would also use that and show you how to get through the answer. But first, let's eliminate the easy options. It's very easy to eliminate few options, you see. Option A says every member of the police is qualified to work for combating the drug problem. Please, this has nothing to do with the drug problem. I have to prove my point or prove the author's point that what is the author saying? That the police chief is saying we are still working towards the illegally parked cars more than the drug case. So, why am I concerned about the drug case? Option A, gone. Option B, drug related crime is not as serious a problem as the police chief claims it. Oh, no, no, no. The importance of the crime here is not important, not a assumption which would affect my conclusion. Will it affect my conclusion? Think about it. My conclusion is that the police chief is stating that they are still working against the illegally parked cars compared to the drug related problem, right? So how will it affect me if I say that drug related problem is not a serious problem? Please, no. This is a simple no. Okay, and see, whenever you make such extreme statements, no, make sure that answer is not going, that option is not going to be your answer. Extreme statements are never our answer. Option C, writing speeding tickets should be as important a priority as the drug. So we are keeping this speeding tickets and combating drug problem in the same scale, together having the same importance. And if they have the same importance, how can it support my premise that the police are still working against the illegally parked cars as they were working earlier? This would not support it, because if two things are equally important, then the police needs to divert their resources equally between the two, and so the number of tickets which were being written earlier should decrease. But that's not the case, so we cannot say that both the crimes are same or same important level. Now coming to option D, the police could be cracking down on illegally parked cars and combating the drug problem without having to reduce writing the speeding ticket. First of all, first of all, when you see this could be, this is a suggestion, my dear friend, not an assumption, a suggestion that this should be done in future. I already know the conclusion This can be a course of action, not a assumption. Now, this is really interesting to note down that the police could be cracking down or doing stuffs, but all these things are basically a suggestion, a course of action, not something which was earlier done, because of which the conclusion takes place that the people are still writing the same number of tickets, okay, and paying more attention to illegally parked cars. But that's not the state. So suggestions never the answers or the assumptions. So option D gone. Now let's check option C and let's apply the negation strategy to check if it is working or not. The police cannot continue writing as many speeding tickets as ever while diverting the resources to combat the drug problem. Wow, it's as simple as anything. It's just supporting the conclusion, isn't it? The conclusion is saying, what is the police person saying? The police chief is saying that, listen, we are still writing the same number of tickets as we were writing earlier. And if this is the case, then it cannot be achieved if I simply divert my resources to some other problem. So this is being supported by option E. And what is the negation strategy? If I negate the strategy, if I negate the option, that is police can continue writing as many speeding tickets while diverting the resources. That means even if I divert the resource, I can write the same number of speeding tickets, then it will directly affect my conclusion. Then it will make my conclusion false, because my conclusion was saying that because we are still writing the same number of tickets, so it is simply a joke, or it is simply not true that we are diverting our resources. This will be completely false if I say that a person can still write the same number of tickets and divert their resources. No. So therefore, direct effect, or we can say that this option has a direct effect upon the conclusion. Okay, and so therefore we will say that option E is our correct answer. It was quite a complex question, let me tell you, and the general public is, surely confused between D and E. So you people need to just learn the reasons why I'm eliminating. Remember one thing, these videos will benefit you 100% only when you realize the reason why I'm eliminating than the reason why I'm selecting the answer, because that's how we would be able to understand these concepts in lesser number of examples. Moving down to the second question, which is definitely a easy one compared to the first one. Just pause the video, do it on your own, and I'm pretty sure you will come up with the right answer this time. And if you did come up with the right answer, congratulations, you understood the concept. All right, so let's read the question here. How do the airlines expect to prevent the commercial plane crashes? Studies have shown that the pilot error contributes to two-thirds of such crashes. To address this problem, airlines have upgraded their training programs by increasing the number of hours, classroom instructions, and emphasizing the communication skills in the cockpit. But, structured word, it is unrealistic to expect such measures to compensate for the pilot's lack of actual flying time. So what is the conclusion here? Therefore, conclusion indicator. The airline should rethink their training approach to reduce the commercial crashes. This is the real conclusion, guys, that the training program or the training approach should be changed for reducing these commercial crashes. This is the conclusion. I know that I should change it, but why should I change it, or how should I change it? Not how. Of course, why should I change it is the assumption. All right. Why should I change it? What had happened because of which the author says so? So let's start eliminating. Option A. Training programs can eliminate pilot errors. This is completely going against my argument, because my argument is clearly stating that the training programs are not enough. Option B. Commercial pilots routinely undergo additional training throughout their careers. Excuse me, if they go through additional trainings, then there should not be any commercial crashes, but there are commercial crashes. So that means it is not true and not an assumption, of course. Option C. The number of airline crashes will decrease. Guys, can you please help me in this? Will decrease if at all The pilot training programs focus on increasing the actual flying time. I can guarantee that your fellow competitors will fall in the trap of this answer. Why? Because it's exactly stating the reason that because of the lack of flying time, we are actually having these commercial crashes. But is it the reason or is it the suggestion? Of course, it's a suggestion, it's a course of action which is provided that we should decrease. Okay, this will decrease if we increase something, something. So there is a course of action. But if you just check option D, this is the same thing but represented in a different manner. The same idea represented as a reason, and in option C, the same idea is represented as a course of action. So there is a very fine line between these two, but still it makes the difference. Option D says that lack of actual flying time is an important contributor to the pilot error in the commercial plane crashes. So again, write it that this is a reason and this is a course of action. COA stands for course of action. So course of action is never my assumption because it's a suggestion, and my assumptions are always the not mentioned or these they are always the not mentioned premise, okay, or hidden premise. That is the reason. So therefore I will always go with option D because that comes out to be my reason for this. And why will I eliminate option E? Communication skills are not important in the pilot training is completely going out of the way because it's clearly mentioned that it is equally important. Am I right? So therefore, we will finalize our answer as option D over here for the second one. And I'm pretty sure that most of you might have got option D as the answer. If you did, then please don't forget to mention it in the comment section because that will, let me understand that you people are getting the points correctly. Now, if you like this video, you know what to do, right? You need to like this video, share it with your friends, and if you're new to this channel, then please subscribe to the channel. I'll be up with more such videos which will be completely providing you a focused and targeted preparation for the ZAT examination, so that even if you're preparing parallelly for the other exams, you can just go through these videos and appear for the examination and come out with bright colors. So all the best for your examination preparation, and until we meet again, please take care and thanks for watching.